Hello, everybody. Today we're gonna have a short lesson on Go. This will be about the control statements, and those statements will be the if statement, the switch for the case, and also the for loop. So I created a file here. You could use any IDE you want. I'm just using VS Code is because I'm used to this. Um, Also, another IDE that's pretty uh, sophisticated is Eclipse. It also has a lot of extensions that you can download. VS Code also has a lot of extensions too, and I believe Cursor is also pretty nice. Um, right now, I think VS Code is using Copilot Chat to autocomplete my statements, or it's probably another extension that I installed that's competing it. I installed so many extensions that I don't know which one is doing which. But anyway, let's start with the first one. This will be the if statement. So first, let's create a variable called test score. So you can see Copilot is auto-completing my stuff. And these autocomplete codes probably came from either Reddit or some other sources that it learned from. So this is not unique. Somebody typed test equals or colon equals 85 a long time ago, and it's just being regurgitated by Copilot. So now I'm going to press tab to accept this. Oh, what? Okay, but there it is. So it autocompletes for me the if statement, and it looks like it's nested ifs. So if you're not familiar with programming, an if statement is a conditional that you use if something is true. For this example, we're using test score as the variable for that condition. So test score is 85, so let's evaluate this line by line. So if test score is greater than or equal to 90, so this is false. So it will go to the next part of the statement and see if that is true there. So the next statement is another, they put an else to connect the next if to that first if. So this second condition is test score is greater than or equal to 80. So that is true. So this will print this and get out of the if block. Basically, once it finds a successful entry or condition, it will get out of this completely out of the if block. So that's basically if. That's basically it for the if statements. It's fairly easy, and if you read it, it's very verbose. So you don't have to be a programmer to really understand it. It's pretty easy to understand. So next we're going to do a switch statement. A switch statement, let me create a variable first to use for a switch statement. Item status, let's see, equals active. And let's do the switch on item status. Okay, it auto-completes for me again. Oops. Okay. Usually just press tab to auto-complete it. Let's see what else. Yes, so for the case, it like the if, it evaluates the expression according to the variable that we created. This time it's item status. So when I do switch item status, it will retrieve the value of item status, which is active. Active is a string. So the case below here will only execute if the string is exactly what is assigned to item status. In this case, if we go look at the values here, case active, this is true, so it will execute this. It get out of the switch block. And this inactive, this will only execute if I change this to inactive. And default will execute if it didn't find any value that is equal to both active or inactive. I forgot to mention in the if statement up here. So these things right here will be executed if certain value of test score is met. I think it's it's the first three if conditions. If none of those are met, this is like the default right here, this else at the end. So this will basically the lowest score if you go look at the logic. Same thing for the switch statement. The default is where it goes if it doesn't meet any of the condition for item status. It doesn't find any corresponding value or just as a default. And that's basically it for item status. Let's go look at the next one, which is, I want to talk about, yes, the for loops. So let's, for the for loop, let's do see. I need to create a variable which is the start of the for loop. Let's start at 0. And, well, autocomplete for me again. Do I want to 5? Yeah, 5 is fine. So in here, it will start at 0. So this is the variable I created. And the for loop will use it. So it will start from 0. And while it's less than 5, it will keep looping. So at the first loop, it will be 0. And it will print 0 at this line right here. In the next line, it will increment I. So in the next line, in the next for loop execution, it will print 1. And then it will keep doing that while I is less than 5. So the last print or the last run of this loop, you will see I colon 4. Because once it reaches 5, this condition is no longer valid. So it will get out of the loop. And there's other thing also. This for loop, which is, it could mistakenly run indefinitely or infinitely. That could be an error in programming or somebody typoed something. Let me demonstrate that. I put I equals 0. I mean, I already put that. Yeah, just reassign 0 to I. Then I would use for loop. This is fine. System 5. Or, oops, Control C. In some instances, you might make a mistake and let me see, just erase it or just put another variable here. Let's do C. C equal to 1. And if I put Z, oh, this is another type of declaration, it looks like. So this is another declaration that you could put for the for loop. If you notice in this first for loop, I have it's a very short condition. I is less than 5. In here, it puts additional information. Z is equal to 0. I should put Z here also. And Z plus plus, so it will be valid. And I'll put Z here. Then Z here also. What is the error here? Declared and not used. Oh, okay. So this declaration is not needed because this different type of declaration right here, it creates Z, which is this Z. So this is another principle in programming. There is a scope where a variable is valid. In the first iteration of the for loop we did here, when we put I is equal to 0, this is global or valid for this entire function, this control flow demo. It will be valid, but I will be visible. However, if we put Z right here for Z is equal to 0, Z is only visible inside this specific for block. And that's why when I put Z right here is equal to 0, it will turn red because this for loop is using Z, which is already inside this for block. And this is said is not being used. So if I want to actually use it, I'll probably do something like this. Print or format that print line that Z. So that will get rid of the error right here because the error was it wasn't used. But anyway, let's erase this because we don't need it. Erase this also. So I was talking about the other condition which you might encounter, which leads to an infinite loop. And that's what you want to avoid. If you do get that, you can press Control Z, Control C as in caret, because that will break the program when you're running it in Windows. I forgot what you press in Mac OS or Linux. I think in Linux, you press Control C also. Maybe in Mac too, but right now we're doing Windows. So it's Control C for Windows. So this will become infinite if I put the condition here greater than or equal to 0. See, it's auto-completing me, and I don't want to do that right now. Right there. So this for loop right here will keep iterating because you put 0 as the initial condition for Z. Now, this condition right here is what's going to determine if it'll keep executing. And on this occasion, after each execution, this third parameter here will increase Z by 1. So this condition right here, the second one that determines execution, will always be true. So this will go infinitely. So you have to press Control C to stop it. And that's one you want to avoid. Yeah, so let me see here if I thought, I guess there's no extension that detects whether there should be an extension for that detects infinite loop. But because this is valid, but you don't want to do that. Yes, so that's all the control statements I want to discuss for now. In the next one, I will go deeper with functions and concurrency. Concurrency is pretty interesting, but that for the next one. Okay, bye-bye for now.